Hi, my name is Theo. I'm a third year law student at St John's College, and today I'm going to be taking you with me on a day in my life. So I've already been to my college's gym, which is a great free facility for all students of my college to use, and also a great way of getting me out of bed early in the morning. And now I'm going to get going with some reading for an upcoming supervision before I head out to my faculty for some lectures. So I have all my law lectures at the Sidgwick site, which is the main humanities faculty site in the law faculty, which isn't too far from my college. And as you can see, it's a very lovely walk, especially on a day like today. Once I arrived at the law faculty, I headed downstairs and straight into my first lecture of the morning in labour law. Then I stayed in the same room for my next lecture on company law, where we learnt about how a company is a separate legal personality from its individuals. Then I headed out and next door to a different lecture hall for my final lecture of the morning in intellectual property, where we was introducing a new topic of patents. Then I headed outside to the atrium area of the law faculty, where I had my lunch with some of my friends. Afterwards, I headed upstairs into the law library. The law library is a very big library with nice big glass windows and lots of light, and I got going with some more of the equity reading that I'd started earlier this morning. After a bit of time, I headed out of the faculty and I started to walk towards town and towards King's College. This is because I had a supervision there in intellectual property. Something that's very nice about studying law at Cambridge is that because so many of the fellows are specialised in their specific areas of law, you'll often have supervisions at different colleges. So for example, I have my intellectual property supervision or small group teaching at King's College. The supervision today is on justifications of intellectual property, and it was very useful because it gave me the chance to ask any questions I had and really think about the concepts that I'd read about for the past few days. After my supervision, I headed back into town and towards a cafe where I got going with planning an upcoming essay I have to write for company law. Once I'd made good progress with my essay plan and it was starting to get close to dinner time, I headed back to my college where I had some of my friends coming this evening for some dinner. So I made some final preparations and they came over, and it was a nice opportunity to get to relax away from my work and catch up with some of my friends outside of various faculties and academics. Once that was done, I walked them back out and then I got back to my room, and I've been making some final preparations for tomorrow's lectures and before heading to bed. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed seeing what it's like to be a third year law student at Cambridge.